1971, where Richard Nixon declares a war on drugs, citing drugs that were coming in from the country illegally from Mexico and other countries, declaring that addiction to drugs like cocaine and heroin, which is what he was after, not barbiturates, right? Maybe it came under the umbrella. They were becoming a national emergency. 1973, the DEA was started, Drug Enforcement Agency, federal agency tasked to investigate illegal drug use and smuggling into the United States. Nixon officials specifically mentioned two enemies that they're at the time during his campaign in 1968, were specific communities of people that the administration wanted to disrupt. So John Ehrlichman, who eventually went to jail for his participation in the Watergate scandal, was talking to a magazine in 1994. And I will quote him by saying, you know what this was all really about. When the Nixon campaign in 1968, they had two enemies, the anti-war left and Black people. You understand what I'm saying, he says. We knew that we couldn't make it illegal to either against war or being Black, but by getting the public to associate with hippies with marijuana and Blacks with heroin, we were criminalizing them both heavily, and we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, break up their meetings, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. Ehrlichman is referencing that by using the war on drugs in order to justify the need for building a racist structure, systemic racism, in order to villainize certain groups of people, the result was, as we see today, substance use as a lot of the time, you're going to hear me say this a lot, but as a dog whistle in politics and in society. Next slide. Right. So we talk about the incarceration and the war on drugs. And within the start of this new federal policy, incarceration rates increased exponentially from the 1970s onward. We saw that under Ronald Reagan, nonviolent drug offenses became the major driver of prison sentences. Black Americans were disproportionately arrested and sentenced. Incarceration and its long-term effects were unemployment, families, and housing discrimination, loss of housing. Under Ronald Reagan, the number of Americans that were in prison under the war on drugs was around 2 million, which was the highest rate globally at the time. Black Americans were incarcerated at the rate of 5 times of white Americans. At one point during the 1980s, it could be said that 1 in 3 Black Americans, or Black men specifically, could be expected in their lifetime to be incarcerated.